Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Critics Cup. My name is Jacob and today we're having a look at every LEGO Marvel 2023 minifigure. This also includes some minifigures that are repurposed with new pieces, such as Pepper Potts and a few other characters. But yeah, if you like this video and want to see more content like this, make sure you like and subscribe. As you can see, LEGO Marvel have actually had a lot more minifigures than this year than we all were led to believe. Mainly due to the fact of the CMF series and, of course, the coveted Avengers UCS Avengers Tower. So yeah, this is quite a lot to go through. We're not going to go through every minifigure in detail because that would just take way too long. Plus I have reviews of most of these guys on my channel, which you can check out individually. Today we're just going to go over some of the highlights, what I think is missing and what could have been improved, and what I hope to see going into 2024. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to pick the top 5 best minifigures from 2023. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video and let's just go through each one. Here are all the Avengers Tower exclusive / reused minifigures. So we have, of course, Kevin Feige made for the first time, who I think should have been made as a minifigure way back in 2018, 2019. When like the MCU hype was still there. I think people would have gone nuts for this minifigure, but there's been no real hype for this figure of Kevin Feige, which is a bit of a shame. I'm still really glad to have it. It's really cool to see him as an official minifigure. We also got reuses from the Avengers Quinjet in January, so they left no exclusive figures and somewhat improved a lot of those figures. Like we got Iron Man, we got Black Widow with leg printing in that set, Thor with a newer style hairpiece, which suits him better, Captain America, which I added more legs to, and the best version of Loki we've ever gotten as a minifigure. And of course, we also got Scarlet Witch from the Endgame Final Battle set, so she's a reuse, but she's new to 2023 with a waist cape. Vision and Ultron, definitely two of the best minifigures in this set. The Wasp is a welcome addition as well, because we haven't had her for a very long time. And finally, the return of Big Thick Hulk after 3 years, with the studs on the back and the removable head and hairpiece. That taxi driver could be some reused parts, but you have to let me know in the comments on that. So technically that makes him one of the hardest minifigures to get. Got the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and Tony Stark, Alexander Pierce, Eric Selvig and Helen Cho, who are very nice to finally have as official minifigures. Even though they're not very exciting, it's just nice to have official versions of those characters. Pepper Potts is a reuse as well, but she does have this sticker tablet and a different hairpiece. So yeah, overall the Avengers Tower is pretty good with its exclusive minifigures, but there's a lot to be desired. Like we could have done with a new Quicksilver, because he does appear in the Avengers Tower. Stan Lee, who for some reason LEGO can't seem to get the rights to, but Funko can, would have been another really great addition. And I'm sure there's tons of others that I can't think of off the top of my head that would have been nice to see included in this set. It's really cool to get a official battle damaged Iron Man, which people have been asking for a very long time. So you could reuse that face shield piece for other Iron Man customs that you would like to make. But it is very limited with a triangle emblem in the middle. So overall, it's a pretty good selection, but it could have been better. So here are characters that have had more than one variation of minifigure. I'm not including SpiderMan because they're all kind of different medium versions of SpiderMan and different characters under the masks, so we're not going to include those. But Hawkeye has had a great year. We've had a remake of the 2012 version, which is long overdue, and of course his TV show version, which should have come in the first CMF series, to be honest, but it's nice to finally have him. These two minifigures are somewhat hard to get. The CMF series is now in boxes, unfortunately. Done a whole video about that. And of course this one's priced a lot to the £420. Black Widow has had 3 versions, one from the first Avengers film and the second Avengers film, plus a Christmas jumper version from the Advent calendar. These two are pretty cheap to get, as is the other one if you get the Quinjet on offer. But yeah, that's quite strange how we've had an Age of Ultron version of Black Widow, so hopefully that means we'll get some Age of Ultron sets next year. We'll have to wait and see. Rocket Raccoon has had a massive year with Volume 3, where he's basically the main character in that film. So it was nice that he got a smaller version of him, the Baby Rocket, and the mech suit version, which is a first ever comic Rocket Raccoon. So that's really cool to see. Hulk is another character that's had a pretty great year. He's had a minifigure, which is now becoming more and more common, getting Hulk minifigures, and the return of the Big Fig, which was long overdue. Thanos has had a new face print for the Big Fig that was introduced a couple of years ago with a removable head, and he has a minifigure version which comes in a couple sets as well. I added the Nano Gauntlet just to complete the Endgame Final Battle set. I guess you could include Wasp if you count her minifigure in Nano form, but yeah, there's quite a lot here. But I would have preferred some other characters to get spotlight, but I think Hawkeye definitely deserved it. He should have got it when his show was relevant. Black Widow is a very random choice to get 3 minifigures. She's basically second to Iron Man, who has 4, which makes it a pain to collect Iron Man. But I was up to date, and now there's another new Iron Man coming out in 2024 in the March wave, so that's a bit of a pain. You'll never complete with your Iron Man suit collection. Rocket Raccoon definitely deserved the spotlight, though, because his movie was one of the biggest films of the year. So, yeah, let me know in the comments which versions of these guys are your favourites, so you could like rank your Iron Mans, your Rocket Raccoons, Hulks, etc. Let me know. Also treated to a CMF Series 2, but unfortunately these came in boxes and were incredibly difficult to collect for people, so a lot of people were paying ridiculous prices to get specific characters online. But this series is special for a couple of reasons. One, it finally gives us minifigures that were overdue from when their shows/TV specials should have come out. And of course, we've got some overly detailed minifigures such as Moon Knight, She-Hulk, are 2 of the most detailed, including Echo and Giant Man as well. Really cool minifigures with all the arm and leg printing. I hope we get a Series 3 in the very near future. We also had the return of X-Men official proper, because besides getting a Wolverine mech and a couple other sets based around him, we finally got some different characters. Beast for the very first time, who's also relevant for a different reason this year, which I won't spoil. Storm, great to see her back after nearly 10 years, which is crazy. Really looking forward to the X-Men jet with new X-Men figures, but would have liked some more new characters apart from Rogue. And this minifigure is extra special. This Echo minifigure is our first ever TVMA minifigure, who I don't think LEGO were aware was going to be TVMA, due to the fact that I think Marvel Studios and Disney changed their minds at the last minute. So she had the new special moulded leg piece, which is really cool. But yeah, I do find it funny how LEGO have inadvertently created this minifigure. It's kind of crazy. This series brought a lot of different elements from LEGO for the first time, like with the official proper return of the X-Men, TVMA characters. It's kind of crazy. And they're just catching up on some things that they should have made a couple years ago when they were relevant. Some figures that I don't think a lot of people will be interested in, but this is all the 2023 Spidey and his Amazing Friends minifigures, which we're about to get a whole new batch of in 2024, which is really cool, with a new Iron Man and Armin Zola. I did a whole video on those. And these are some generic reuse pieces characters, where you get Okoye with the shoulder piece and Ned and MJ from the No Way Home set. Speaking of Spider-Man characters, we finally got a No Way Home set with all the villains. I upgraded the Green Goblin's legs, which you can check out in a separate video. But yeah, to get Electro, Jamie Foxx, Doc Ock and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, very iconic to get those guys in official minifigures. And of course, the 2 characters everyone really wanted the most probably is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. So we've got the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on the right and the Amazing Spider-Man on the left, which is really cool. They could have done with some extra details, or I would have just put these guys in the CMF series, to be honest, and give us the best detailed versions of these guys we could have gotten, like we did with the What If version of Spider-Man from a couple of years ago. We also got 2 other versions of Spider-Man. We got a Christmas jumper version and a brand new Miles Morales as well, which I think is really cool to coincide with the release of Spider-Man 2 in a roundabout way. It's really nice to have him back as a proper plain version of the classic suit. This was a long time coming for a lot of these guys, and I'm glad that we're going to get the Lizard in 2024. Sticking with movies for the MCU, it was an awful year for minifigures. Really, really bad. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania only got this nano fig officially in the Quantumania set, which was just a buildable figure of Giant Man. The Wasp is from the Avengers Tower, so I guess that's the closest way you'll get to a full minifigure version of her. But there is currently no Ant-Man minifigure on the market, which is crazy to me, that there is no Ant-Man minifigure and his movie came out in February. We had 3 sets for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but a lot of these minifigures were just wearing the same outfits, with some new face prints thrown in there. And Adam Warlock and Groot are the 2 best minifigures, and it's really cool to get a new character who we've never gotten as a LEGO minifigure in Adam Warlock. I think you guys are seeing a pattern here. And then we have the Marvels minifigures. I do apologise that I never reviewed the set, but the set in the UK retails for £85. and was a Smith's exclusive, but I got it for $60 recently. And the best minifigure by far is Miss Marvel, who I think should have been in the CMF series with a full version of her outfit from her own TV show with really detailed arm and leg printing. But I don't know if you guys can tell something here. There's no villains from any of these sets. Now, Adam Warlock was kind of a villain at first, but apart from that, there's no villains from any of the MCU movies that came out this year, which is by far the biggest misstep, in my opinion, personally, for LEGO Marvel as a theme. We didn't get Kang the Conqueror, we didn't get High Evolutionary, and we didn't get whoever the villain is in the Marvels. No one saw it. But it's just absolutely insane to me that there's no villains. Like, there was no minions for any of these guys to fight. Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't even get a proper set. The Marvels only got one set, which is kind of crazy considering the first film made over $1 billion. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has nothing to go up against. There's no villain vehicles, like gun turrets, anything for them to fight in any of the sets, apart from Adam Warlock, who comes in the most expensive set. But by the end of the film, he joins the Guardians, so it makes no sense. This is just absolutely the worst year for the MCU in terms of movies. Now, I know we got the CMF series, but that's the CMF series and they were in boxes, so it was hard to collect them in the first place. These are official retail sets that you can buy, and there's nothing for them to fight. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know what was going on this year with Disney Marvel. It's just bizarre. Sorry, I'm just ranting about this, but it just really aggravates me that there's just nothing for these guys to fight. And that's in the cases of a lot of sets this year for LEGO Marvel. We got 4 Chitauri in the UCS 18 plus collector's edition set, plus Loki and all the chariots and the Leviathan that you can fight. But in the sets that are like £9 and aimed at little kids, or could be for Christmas presents, what are they supposed to fight? What, each other? Like, they're all these characters are all superheroes. So it just makes absolutely no sense. Sorry this has gone on for a bit long, this section, but it just really aggravates me. We have 3 brand new versions of characters we have gotten before. We've got a random Ghost Rider mech motorcycle set in January, which is really cool. I do love Ghost Rider. We got a brand new Hulk Bruce Banner, which should have been included in Avengers Tower, or just giving him a lab coat version with this face print would have been really cool to see. And we got a random new Valkyrie minifigure who came in the final battle with Thanos and Scarlet Witch and Wasp, but those figures were in other sets as well. But it's really cool to finally have a Pegasus that she rides in Endgame. Now, one of my favourite aspects of LEGO Marvel is seeing what characters that we finally get as official minifigures that we've never gotten before. Not including characters like Storm, who's not been in set for 10 years or stuff like that. Characters that have never been made. Now, the CMS series did the bulk of the heavy lifting. I even included some of the pets from the shows, like Lucky the Pizza Dog. This version of Goliath is Bill Foster, who we've technically never gotten as a minifigure. The one that you see in the back there is Hank Pym. So this is a brand new character. Kate Bishop is also Hawkeye, but this is Kate Bishop, not Clint Barton. Moon Knight and Mr. Knight are kind of different characters, but they're different personalities. So that's why all those characters there are included. We got the Mean Machine Morbius in a £20 set, which is kind of crazy with Miles Morales from January. One of the only few comic-based sets we got this year, which I'm really looking forward to getting more comic sets with the Venomized characters. But hopefully we get some new villains from, well, Marvel's Rogues Gallery in general. Kevin Feige was a big plus this year, even though he didn't get as much hype as I thought people would give him. These are all civilian characters, but they are technically new characters that we never gotten. Eric Selvig was one of the last main Avengers 1 characters that we have never gotten. Alexander Pierce is a nice bonus, as is Helen Cho. Taxi Driver's probably reused parts, but he's a civilian that's exclusive, so I thought I'll include him. Adam Warlock is by far the best Volume 3 minifigure from Guardians of the Galaxy, and we've never gotten him as a minifigure. So yeah, not a whole lot here. Like, 4 of them are civilian, well, 5 if you count Kevin Feige, 5 of them are civilians. Almost half, like, almost all the CMF characters are new characters. So technically, the only 2 that are the most exciting is Adam Warlock and Morbius. Like, if we didn't get a CMF and the Avengers Tower, there would only be 2 new characters, which I find kind of crazy. And considering, like you saw at the beginning of the video, the amount of minifigures that they have made for the first time in new outfits and stuff this year, it's kind of crazy to me that there's not a lot here. So I'm hoping now, beginning in 2024, where we're getting Armin Zola for the first time, and the Lizard, Rogue as well. Like, that's 3 there of new characters we've never gotten. And that's already 1 more than technically, if you don't include the other 2 things I said. So hopefully 2024 will be more kind to us and give us some new characters. Again, like I said, the villains missing from all the MCU films. All 3 MCU films don't have their villains as Lego minifigures, which is crazy to me. I think this is one of the weakest parts of the year by far as well. Starting off with my top 5 is Electro. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with my opinions, but these are my personal opinions. I just think this version of Electro with the mask, with the lightning eyes, is really freaking cool. And all the lightning elements just really one-up this minifigure for me personally. I just think he's really well done and really cool. We have the Iron Man suit that's exclusive to the Avengers Tower, because this is our first time getting a battle-damaged Iron Man, which is so cool, and I think kids would absolutely love this if they were able to afford it. To get some battle-damaged Iron Man minifigures is just really cool concept to me and a lot of other people. 2 honourable mentions, because these 2 are technically the only new characters Lego have never made. Adam Warlock is just a really cool minifigure. I love all the gold shine. And Morbius, just because it's a new SpiderMan villain we've never gotten. And I have to do it for the memes of Morbin time. 3, we have Echo. Now, I know that's going to be really weird to a lot of people, but the detail on this minifigure, the new leg piece, hair piece with the braids on the back is just really cool and really well done. I'm quite looking forward to a TV show now that we know it's going to be TVMA and going to be very violent, like the Netflix show for Daredevil. This one may come as a surprise to a lot of people, but Beast is my second favourite because I just love X-Men. X-Men is my favourite Marvel comic of all time. I love the 97 TV show and all the subsequent cartoons they've done of the X-Men. So to finally have a Beast minifigure, it just means a lot to me personally. And my number 1, I couldn't decide between Vision and Moon Knight. Moon Knight with all the arm and leg printing is just absolutely terrific, and the crescent moon printed on the new hood element. He's so well done. Vision from the Avengers Tower with the transparent legs and the plastic cape piece is really well done as well. You guys can decide for me in the comments which one of these 2 you think is the best. And that's going to do it, guys, for my look at all the 2023 minifigures. I think this has been a pretty strong year, but there are some missteps along the way and some very important key characters that have yet to be made in official Lego minifigure form, which hopefully Lego will circle back around to, like they have done with most of these figures. As you can probably tell, a lot of these figures are long overdue, of course, like the Toby and Andrew Spider-Man. Kevin Feige, I think, should have been like a celebration minifigure from Avengers Infinity War / Endgame when the hype was more around for the MCU. Other characters we waited far too long for, like Eric Selvig from the first Avengers movie. And, of course, getting some new updates on certain characters that were long overdue, like Hawkeye, Wasp, Vision, just a couple others in here. And, of course, the return of Big Fig Hulk. So, yeah, a lot of strong highlights. And, of course, a lot of little characters as well. Like the pets have been pretty strong this year, or side characters. I think those have been really good to see. And yeah, that's going to do it for my look at all these guys. Let me know in the comments what your top 5 favourite minifigures are. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.